All right. And we are live. Welcome, DoorGrow hackers, to the DoorGrow show. If you are a property management entrepreneur that wants to add doors, make a difference, increase revenue, help others, impact lives, and you are interested in growing your business and life, and a bit differently, then you are a DoorGrow hacker. DoorGrow hackers love the opportunities, the daily variety, the unique challenges, and freedom that property management brings. Many in real estate think you're crazy for doing it. You think they're crazy for not, because you realize that property management is the ultimate high trust gateway to real estate deals, relationships, and residual income. At DoorGrow, we are on a mission to transform property management businesses and their owners. We want to transform the industry, eliminate the BS, build awareness, change perception, expand the market, and help the best property managers win. I'm your host, property management growth hacker Jason Hull, the founder of Open Potion, Gather Kudos, Thunder Local, and of course, DoorGrow. Now let's get into the show. And today I am hanging out with Robert Shu of Finra. Did I say that right?
Yep, that's right.
And so Robert is going to share with us how you can use the latest technology to digitally verify your applicants' incomes, account balances, and cash flow on the spot through 100% reputable sources using Finra. I'm reading the bio here. And so, Robert, share with us a little bit. I want to talk about you first. And why don't you tell us a little bit about you and your background and kind of how Finra eventually came about? So tell us about Robert.
Yeah, love to. God, let's see. Where do I start? So I guess all my friends kind of know me as either the real estate guy or the tech guy. Now they know me as the real estate guy and the tech guy. I grew up around property management, really. It's been in family business for generations. And growing up, like I was always surrounded by the buzz of showing tenants properties, fixing up apartments, and my favorite, collecting rent. When I was 16, I started managing my first property for my parents, and I'm still doing it. And really, like, I love it. It's a ton of fun. I've also been a residential real estate agent in California. So I've got some insight into the buying and selling process. And actually, funnily enough, this idea stemmed from a problem I noticed in buying and selling real estate, not actually doing the property management. More on that later. About me, myself. Also, I guess I just got my first investment property out in New Jersey. Very excited to do that. Taking on an investment property in another state has shown me like all kinds of new challenges. So that's the real estate Robert. Let me tell you a little bit about the software engineer Robert. My professional background is as a software engineer. My most recent job was at Zillow. You've probably heard of them. They're the online real estate portal. And I was building, yeah, and I was building apps for them, specifically for real estate agents. We were working on really groundbreaking stuff. What we had was a unified platform for real estate agents to communicate with their clients. If you're interested in that, I can talk about that more in another podcast. But I'll leave that for later. So really, it was an awesome experience. Really enjoyed working there. And about 6 months ago, I decided to strike off on my own and start working on an app for property management. Well, actually, initially residential real estate, but I kind of ported over to property management because I thought it fit here a lot better. So here I am now, combining my two passions and areas of expertise, real estate and technology.
All right. I actually had to just shut my window because dogs were barking. But that's what happens when you're an entrepreneur working from home. So Robert, that sounds really cool. And so you're really high tech, like high level high tech, working for Zillow, doing apps. And so which one do you think's more fun or more exciting? Do you enjoy getting into code and software? Or do you enjoy working with people and doing real estate deals? Or what kind of drove you in those two sort of different directions?
Yeah, I mean it's an interesting question. At least for me, I was in software for pretty much my whole life. So making the jump over to being an entrepreneur was both scary and exhilarating. Really, like as a software engineer, my greatest joy in life is seeing people use my software and benefit from it And really just when they come back and say great things like, hey, like I love what you're working on, I love what you developed, it helped my business, like that's really the best feeling. So what I did was I got good at building it. And what I'm doing now is I'm trying to get good at spreading the word with everybody, because I think that this latest app, Finra, that we developed really has the potential to change the game in terms of verifying tenants. We are using like some of the most cutting edge technology, financial technology, to facilitate screening tenants. Like now, financial technology has made data better, easier to access, more reliable. Like there are so many great things that financial technology has brought to the world. And what we want to do is share it with everybody.
Cool. So explain. So let's get into the problem that Finret solves. So explain what's the challenge or the problem that property managers are dealing with that you, because this is what entrepreneurs do. We see a problem and then we're like, I can fix that problem. I can solve that problem. And that's what you did with the software. So what's the problem that this solves that you were seeing and the challenge that kind of.
Yeah, absolutely. So the original problem that we set out to solve was proof of funds. I mentioned earlier that this whole idea stemmed from an interaction that I had with a real estate client. We were about to submit an offer on a house, and they asked me like, "Hey, well, the other agent is asking for proof of funds. How do I do this?" And it was my first deal, right? I had no idea. So I was like, "All right, well," called up my broker, and I was like, "Hey, like, how do we do proof of funds?" He goes, "Hey, well, tell them to log onto their bank account, take a screenshot of their statement, and then either email it over as a PDF or print it out and bring it in." And I was like, whoa, like, hold up. Like it's 2018 now. It was 2017 at the time, right? And I was like, there's got to be a better way to do this. So started looking into it. And about a month later, I had a prototype. And yeah, that's that's how it all got started.
That is fascinating. I mean, people have heard of like Photoshop, right? And there's so many ways you can manipulate just an image. So that's really funny. Nerds like you and me look at that and go, yeah, that's ridiculous. That sounds really ridiculous. So what's the pain that drives people to use a service like FinRet? What are some of the issues that property managers are dealing with? And how is that, what have you seen is typical of how they are verifying funds currently?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think I mean, just right off the bat, we work directly with banks. So by using Finra, you're almost eliminating the possibility of fraud. I can't say you're completely eliminating it because the lawyers will get angry at me, but you're mitigating it greatly.
Right.
The way our technology works is we work directly with banks. Tenant signs onto our platform, they authorize their bank to release us the information, and then we send that information straight to the property manager. So what that means is income is never self-reported. We get that information directly from the banks. So that's the first of actually a few benefits of using the software: reduced risk of fraud. The second is we just get you better data. We get you more data too. Most people, they ask for 1 month, right? You ask for a month of pay stubs, or you ask for 2 months of bank statements. We can get you 12 months of information instantly, just like that.
Really? Okay. Now, okay, so this brings like there's all kinds of questions I'm sure property managers ask, and the most obvious one that I'm hearing is in my head is, but there are so many different banks out there, and there's got to be so many different systems, and how are you able to get the data from all of them? Like, what if they're not with Wells Fargo or Citibank or Chase or these big ones?
Yeah, Jason, that's a great question. You're kind of getting into our secret sauce there. So I can tell you a little bit about it, but I
You can
can't
just
give you
tell
the
me it
full picture.
works if it's a secret, but
Well, I'll tell you this. We currently support 15 of the largest institutions in the US. And
okay.
over the course of this year, we'll be ramping it up to about 15,000, both in the US and internationally. So one of the great benefits, actually, and a client actually came back to me with this probably a few weeks ago. He was like, "Hey, like I got this international applicant. he doesn't have a credit score, right? Because he just moved
Right.
here. And I used your tool to verify his bank, and it was awesome. So that's kind of another problem that we're solving. Like, I'm sure that anybody here who has had international applicants, student applicants, like, hey, like these guys, like they don't have credit history, but they do have financial history, and that's where we can help you out.
Okay, great. So, so it's solving the problem of helping to mitigate or potentially eliminate fraud. It's connected to a network of banks, basically, and which is ever expanding. It sounds like you're working on growing that even bigger, and it's able to pull in this data. So, what other challenges is this solving, and what else does this do?
Yeah, definitely. So let me tell you the last feature, and this is probably the most exciting, at least in my mind, because I'm like I said, like I'm a total nerd. Like I love information. I love getting more data. And now that we have access to all of this financial data, we can get financial data that was previously inaccessible or very difficult to get for property managers and landlords. And I'm talking about expenses. So now imagine on your financial position statement, you see not only how much money do they have in their bank, you can see that over a 12-month period. You can see what their income looks like over a 12-month period. And now, really, for almost the first time ever, you can look at their cash flow, and that's income minus expenses. So, really, what you're looking at is how much money on a monthly basis is this person saving? How much are they making? How much are they spending? It's really it's almost like a P&L if you're talking like business terms on an applicant. You can get crystal clear information on somebody's financial position. So our theory is that, and what we've seen actually in practice too, is that by using all this extra information, you as a landlord, you as a property manager, can make more informed decisions about whether or not to accept an applicant.
Right. Just to make sure they're financially qualified for the property.
Yep, exactly.
Interesting. So it probably doesn't have anything like this, but is there a way that they can, by looking at this, score the applicants internally, like, to make this decision making quick?
Yeah, definitely.
If not, maybe that's a feature request already right here
So
from me. No, I'm just kidding.
it's funny that you brought that up. We are in the process right now of bringing on a data scientist to do exactly what you just said. What we want to do on our end is help people make decisions. So phase one right now, we're helping people get the information. Right now,
Nice.
it's decide what to do with it. We're expecting maybe near the end of Q2 to be rolling out a decision assistant in a way. Our plan is to have it call out things in people's financial history that you can then make decisions on.
Cool. And now, how much do the renters get through this process, or do they not get to see anything?
Yeah, so the renters, so if a decision is made based on a financial statement, you have to tell the renter like why you decided to reject them.
Right.
But the renters, like there are a couple benefits for the renters. One, it's just a more seamless process. Instead of having to go home and collect, I don't know, pay stubs, print out pay stubs, take screenshots of your bank accounts. I mean, some people go so far as to like require W-2s. You can just log on and then authorize your bank account. Whole process takes like 2 minutes, and that's that.
Okay, cool. So, give it any idea of how much time this might be saving property managers on average, or tenants? Like, how much time is this collapsing in their tenant screening process?
Quite a bit, actually. Based on conversations that I've had with a number of leasing agents, one of the slowest parts of the process now is financial verification. I mean, everything else is pretty easy, right? To get the credit report, to get the background report, you just need to collect a social security number, and it just happens like that. You plug it into the backend system and it comes back. But with financial verification, you need to send the applicant home. You need to wait for them to collect the documents. You need to wait for them to send it back to you. And then if you want to do additional verification on top of that, that could take another 2 to 3 days. So really, we're looking at I mean, worst case scenario, a 5-day process, it gets cut down to 15 minutes, 10 minutes.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, that's great. I mean, usually some property managers are probably like, hey, whichever applicant gets us everything that we need first. And people are like racing, but it's a pain. It's a pain to get all that info gathered together sometimes. So explain to me, are you guys looking at integrations? Because I mean, one of the biggest complaints that we've seen about property management software is the lack of integrations. And there are not very many property management software because that's where they run their whole business from, but there's not very many that are looking or have an open API or looking to connect or integrate. So this phrase open API and integration is becoming kind of this buzzword, this craving that property managers have. Is that anywhere on the horizon for Finra? These
absolutely.
partnerships or integrations?
We've looked extensively at Yardi, integrating with Yardi, because I know that that's where a lot of property management companies run their system out of. It's slated for a little later in the year. Right now we're working on integrating credit reports, background checks, and rental reports. And actually, we're going to be doing that very, very competitively. So it'll be worth looking into once we roll that out. But yeah, maybe after that, we're definitely looking at integrating with other property management systems.
Yeah, cool. So in the residential space, the biggest ones I hear about are AppFolio, Propertyware, Buildium, and Rent Manager. So put those on your hit list, because that's going to give any one of them a competitive advantage. AppFolio is not really integrating with anybody, from what it sounds like. There's been lots of complaints in the DoorGrow Club about that, but I hear Propertyware and Buildium and Rent Manager have open APIs, and so that'll be really cool to see if you can get connected with them, because that will give you a whole new audience of clients to connect into those. Yeah, that'd be really cool. So, well, I'm really excited to see get feedback from people in the DoorGrow Club. So, how can people learn? Is there anything else they should know that you would love for people to know about Finra?
No, I think that pretty much covers it.
It sounds like a really elegant solution to something really simple and obvious, and it sounds like a no-brainer for any property manager to implement this in their business. If they can shorten that cycle with the tenants and get a tenant placed even faster, they're just going to increase their customer satisfaction level across the board, and it just makes them look like a modern company.
Totally. I mean, our theory is that we think every property manager, every landlord can benefit from better data faster.
Love it. So how do people find out more about Finra?
Yeah, so you can check out our website, finret.com, and you can email me directly, robert@finret.com. We're currently accepting people onto our beta program, and if you drop me an email, I can for sure bump you up that list. So we'll call that the DoorGrow special here, in addition to getting you a couple of free trials of our software. Just drop me a line, mention that you saw me on DoorGrow, and we'll take it from there.
All right, cool. And you don't have to mention any fees, because I'm sure pricing is going to change. But how do you do pricing? Is it like per applicant? Is it like a monthly subscription? Is it based on their door count? How do you guys generally do pricing?
We're on a per use basis.
Cool.
Pretty much every time you use it, you can actually attach multiple applicants onto one application. So it's just on a per application basis.
Oh, great. All right. I think we've covered it. So it sounds really great. Robert, super excited to have some of our DoorGrow hackers beta test with you and check this out and get some feedback. Sounds like you got some exciting developments coming down the pike with what you're doing, and excited to see where Finra helps benefit property managers here in the future.
Yep, definitely.
And thanks for coming out on the DoorGrow show. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Hope people found this useful, interesting, and looking forward to talking more in the future.
Awesome. All right. Thanks again. All right. And if you are just now tuning in, or if you are listening to this on the podcast later on, or watching this on YouTube or any of the other places that we put this, make sure that you get inside the DoorGrow Club Facebook group. You can get to that by going to doorgrowclub.com. It is only for property management entrepreneurs, business owners. And so it's not for your staff. It's not for your team members. It is just for you entrepreneurs so that you can figure out how to deal with your staff, how to deal with your clients, and you can figure out what you need to do to grow your business. And it is a phenomenal forum. As of the time of this recording, we have over 1,000 members, 1,000 property management entrepreneurs, DoorGrow hackers inside the Facebook group, and we are getting over 21,000 interactions a month in the Facebook group. That is like the likes and clicks and comments, and the engagement is insane. We get hundreds and hundreds of posts in a month. And so every day posts are just flowing through this thing, and there's people are asking questions. So if you get stuck, everybody is contributing and helping each other. That's what entrepreneurs do. We are contribution focused. You heard Robert say it. He saw that he wanted to make a difference and he saw a problem that could be solved. That's what we do at DoorGrow. That's what entrepreneurs do. And so this is a contribution focused group. Everybody is contributing and making a difference. We are transforming the entire industry. So make sure you get in that group. And if you're struggling with growth, we are the company to help you. So make sure you check out DoorGrow and take a look at our seed package, what we can do to help align your business so that growth happens more easily without all the costly cold lead marketing like SEO, pay-per-click, etc. So check us out. And we also launched our mastermind group, which is for property managers that are maybe in the 200 to 400 door range, or they've gone through our seed package process and dialed that all in, but they are beyond the issue of trying to get on new doors. They've solved the problem of growth and they've moved on from there. And so, if that sounds like you, go to doorgrow.com/mastermind and apply. It's application only, and we will see if you are a good fit for the group. And if so, it's going to be a game changer for your business. We are going to be focused on aligning your business around you so that you can be the entrepreneur and not the property manager. You hire the property manager. You get to be the business owner and the entrepreneur. We want to get you towards that. So, all right. Anyway, that's it. We are going to end this. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in and listening. Bye.